Come to the other one now. What? You still on colour?
That's just
Colour should be predominant.
Yeah, it's more white than
just ugly.
Right?
Too much white.
Okay, my breed standards say when it's a coloured dog, black brindle, red, fawn or whatever, a marking on the body is allowed. But when it's a white dog, sorry, when it's a white dog, no marking is allowed.
So is that a white dog?
Is that a white or a black? Oh, first of all, is it a tricolour or a black brindle?
That's what the
So
Tricolour,
tricolour
because it's got the three colours.
wannabe.
and white tricolour.
Now talk to me. That's not a bad looking dog, by the way. If you look at it past everything now, smashes, smashes, whatever. But is that correct?
doesn't look correct, but
The moment that you in doubt if that dog is white or coloured, then you know.
Don't use a hammer.
Because my breed standards say if that is, you rectify that's a colour dog, then the marking on the back is a fault. But if you say that's a white dog, oh sorry, I said it the wrong way around. Thank you. She looked at me now. If it's a white, if you classify that as a white dog, that's incorrect. It's got markings on the back. But if you classify it as a coloured dog, that's allowed. It's not nice looking, but it's allowed.
The colour should be predominant.
yes.
If you can't, like I say, you can't really measure. Now that's the extreme I've taken. That's now like the 50-50 case.
But it's already tricolor, so it can't be white then. because
You're
it's three
100%
colours.
correct.
Yeah.
I would classify this as because it's tricolour, it can't be white.
If it's going to be only white and black, I will say maybe it's white then, but it's three colors in there already.
Happy.
And also if you
But
take,
yes?
so if you take, say, a white and brindle dog, where there's very little brindle on the body, you would say the brindle needs to be more than the white. So in this case, I would say the colour, even if it's dry, the black and the red should be more than the white.
Yeah. It's not going to win anyway.
Maar nou, en jy moet my verander, ek wil net gou daai video van
Ek staan reg agter jou.
Ek wil daai ons video. Net gou, nou maar nie nou die staan nie. That exactly explains. I don't have a right answer or a wrong answer here. I don't know, to be honest. Okay, I don't know if it's white or colour, but in the end, I think it explains to you. At a white dog, after the years, no markings allowed.
It's easy to tell if it's a coloured dog. Check his spine.
What he said is we easily can check if it's a coloured dog because look at the front teeth. But for me that nicely explains colouring in bull terriers. So the moment you get a coloured dog, no markings is allowed on the body. The moment it is a
white dog.
sorry, a white dog, no colouring is allowed. The moment is another way around. I think that explains it. Okay.
Can I just
Yes.
say something? Your colour, if it's a coloured dog and there's markings on the back or on the body, the colour should always be predominant. That's too much white.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah. Agreed. But that gives you the idea between the two. So, very quickly, the miniature, everything exactly the same. Same standard. Even in Kusa it says, return standard. And then, now the only thing that you need to note, and I'm quite, for me it's nice breeding minis. Minis, we're all battling. My minis I imported battle a little bit with head and a little bit with body. I do realize that. But before, December and before, last year and before, the breed standard of the miniature red recommended height 35.5, which meant too big and too small, both was a fault. It's given me the ideal height. So even too small a mini is wrong. From 1st of January, very nicely, the standard has been changed and said it shall not exceed. Which means small is fine, but there's a limit. And anything bigger is not disqualified. It's just another fault. Okay. But which means, and that for me, that's the only, that's not the only, but that for me is the main thing making a mini is its size. Nothing else. It looks like a bull terrier. Okay? So that's the only thing distinguishing them from them. Only last year I quickly want to do is that movement video that we finished. I'm still in time for my hour.
But the minis are bred from different backgrounds.
Yeah, oh, that I also want to tell you, yes. I can tell you this, where the bull terrier itself was bred from the bulldog, the old English white terrier, And later on, even the Dalmatian was used to breed skin and everything and give height down to it. The same time when they, so this one is not a small bull terrier.
Yeah.
It's genetic wise, this one is bred from the French bulldog. At the same time, you use the bulldog on the other side. So it's not small little runt of litters.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
some people think-
Yes, that's why I cannot use a small bull terrier
The big dog.
and use it in,
On a
it's
mini.
two different genetic makeups.
What about the 9 kilogram weight restriction?
There's no weight restriction.
No
No, recommended. 12 to 15, 12 to 14. But again, that you have to put, to weigh that and everything, so, yeah.
And for the standard
No, there's just
terrier,
another
there is no weight.
The standard bull terrier has got no height restriction, no weight restriction. They always say it should, the dog must be balanced.
Yeah.
If it's a huge dog, and the bigger you breed, the more faults you're going to see. Because everything gets exaggerated, even if it's a nice dog, so it gets exaggerated in everything. So there's no height restrictions, weight restrictions, nothing.
Are you going to talk about substance and fat?
Welcome to leave that question for last. I'll do that movement quickly, and then I'll explain to you what my version is substance versus fat. Ik kan hem maar groot maak. Ek weet nie of ek hom van hier af kan stop nie. Haal ek hom opklip vir groot.
Hy is van die States af.
Ja, stop hom net vir maak hom vol skerm. Okay, this dog, the reason why I'm showing you this specific red dog is he's just been chosen as the dog that that represents the standard. So if you go onto the US site and the UK site, he's the dog showing people about movement. Okay. Now movement in a bull terrier is very nice. Already wat hy net? Ek gaan stop hom net gou. Yeah, that's the nice thing, square. Okay. Right. Okay. Alright, just check quickly and then I'll. Yeah. Then I'll explain to you why the way that I see movement, and then we look at the video again. Okay. That's Floyd, by the way.
Is it? Okay. We said I can see. Maar hy sê 'n bietjie woord, hè?
Yeah, sure. It's almost finished, and I'm going to explain to you what my version is approved by the bull terrier. Okay, so just leave it there. We're going to. I'll just stop him go. If you think we can stop him. Okay. Movement in a bull terrier. Let's say it must be square. Square in me, I always say. If you look at the bull terrier, and normally you let it walk away from you, then you come back to you, you'll see them adjusting outside down. They must stay square. They always tend to become a little bit in. Even puppies tend to do it quite a lot more. Bitches even do it a little bit more. But in the end, it must be parallel, which means it must be as if he's running on a railway line. Front and hind legs. So when you're looking from the back, you must only see two legs. The front legs is hidden away. When it's coming to yours, you see the two nice front legs, nice in front, and you see bum. You only see two legs again. Okay? When you look at the side view, you will see the hind legs driving, because that's his strength. He's pushing, it's almost like he's grabbing the railway line and pushing it to the back. Now, and he must also, one of my standard sayings to me is that he must cover distance the most economy as possible, which means that with ease, he mustn't use a lot of energy to move. So he must grab it, let go at this height, almost releasing the railway line to go and grab again. I hate these little hackneys because they lose energy and there's no strength in it. This guy must go and grab something and move forward. That's what he's doing. The front legs, after we've explained this is this. This one is stocky. That one there you will see keeping balance with nice easy strides in front. Because that's what the front legs is for. Okay? Yeah, same as this thing. Yes. Now if you look at that dog again, look at his parallel movement and you will see, look how straight the legs is. Look, when you look from the front and from the back, I don't have a side view on him, but you look from the front and the back, you will see just two pair of legs. Now that is movement. Go again. Then your question. That's a dog called Skyline Defies Dazzler. He lives in the States. Here is show at in the UK. He's also UK champion. Understand what I mean? There's a sunlight under him. You can see underneath him. You can see through the legs. But remember, that's the ideal. Don't go and look at your dog tonight and kick it out because it doesn't move. Okay? That's absolutely the ideal movement.
Is that tail set okay?
The tail set, what I would say is, I would have loved it lower. I wouldn't penalize it. But you also see the way that he's presenting himself is, I would call him almost a friendly dog. So he's almost playing with the tail.
Het is daar ook een trend.
Op hierdie stadium of there, the show, he was about 2, 3, currently he's about 7 to 8 years old.
Maar een papi gaat hem meer anders dan nog als daar jongen wat
I must say, I don't want to go into my lines. I have used him and I used him specifically for that. He's got his faults as well. But all my dogs suddenly is square in movement. So he's got a dominant trait that is breeding me. Okay? He's creating some other faults.
Puppies
I
ook.
found
Puppies
puppies are too
Yes. Yeah. No, puppies, sorry, I understand you now. Puppies doesn't move like that. Yes, you can see they square and they move nicely, but they tend to close up puppies.
Ja, maar het is
They wanna
meer
jump.
weeglik. Hulle wil-
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're flopping around.
Yes, and also when you train dogs like that to move like that, I normally, if Stevenette stands downstairs with a Vienna, and then she comes with a leash, 8 weeks old, come up and down, no leash on them. And you take them to the show 4 or 5 months later, the first time you put a leash on, they move, as if it's always been there. Okay.
The side movements?
Sorry?
Side movement?
Side movement I don't have, sorry, but that's, yeah, I'll come to that one now. First one I was off, let's do your one first, let's move on. The only thing that you have to check in what she's showing, I think, is the back legs overstepping. So a lot of times, what you're trying to tell me, eh? Back legs overstepping.
No, I'm trying to ask you if it's, with the status it must be this two, and this two, this two, this two.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes you see that.
You will see,
Otherwise, they're
yes.
single.
You will see, yeah. You will see, there's a lot of other breeds that they say single track will do things. But when this roach is too much, I remember I told you when we had that little roach too much, the dog doesn't stop, he carries on walking after you stop him on top. You will see a lot of dogs which overreach with his hind leg, almost stepping on that other feet, and then it's got like a little skip. Or what the dog learns is to put other feet. You can watch it, there's a lot of them, when they do too much roaching, it's like the back leg almost, yeah, the leg coming back, they almost step on the back of it. So the dog is like compensating for it. So therefore that's what you ask. Last, sorry, there's some more questions, but there was a question. Substance versus fat.
Overweight.
Hierdie wil ek ook hoor. Ek is staan substance en vet is ek.
Ja, maar dit is vir my 'n groot probleem.
Ja, nee, ek is ook hoor.
Okay. How much time do we have? I must be finished by 4:15.
10 and 4.
Oh,
10 and 5, 10 minutes, go.
right. Yeah. Okay, I'm fat, number 1. Okay, substance versus fat. Okay, a lot of people believe a big dog, a massive dog, what I call a plomp, half a kilo overweight, is a lot of substance.
Yeah.
That's not. My breed used to be described as the gladiator, which means it's a muscle. You must be able, for me, substance means the maximum dog to fit into his own little square. After you've drawn a square around him and say, that's the dog. Maximum dog, maximum muscle for his own size, without any fat. So you must be able to see the muscles. He mustn't be a thin little dog with old duty. He must fill up the square with bone, thick round bone, nice strong feet, strong head, maximum dog for its own size.
The thing is, you'll never
Muhammad
be able
Ali
to feed
instead
a dog.
of
You'll never be able to feed a dog substance by feeding it.
Yes.
Because you can do it, you can make it fat, but the bone will tell the
Totally agree with him. What he's saying is that, and that is, I can vouch for, you can never feed up a bull terrier with thin bone. You can feed him, he will become top heavy in the end, like a little top on top.
You can never feed substance into a dog.
Correct, you can never feed substance. So when you see the dog, he will give you the impression of strength, bone. He filled the picture, not only a side view, but from the front, it's also nice and square. This nice tapered neck, running into straight legs.
Lately, I see most of the dogs that's been put up is overweight, fat.
Yes.
And they
I
confuse
totally
it with
agree. There's a
substance.
misconception.
Overdone. Overdone.
Yeah.
Overdone. Because I believe that the bull terrier should be lean. It's a fighting machine.
Yeah.
But he must still carry bone, understand what I mean, and muscle, but he mustn't carry fat. He must be hard. He must be smooth, but too touchy. He must be able to pull skin
I
out.
think when
No
they,
little
and
skin.
if they're moving, some of them when they're very overweight, especially the bitches, they have this like
Little
Wobble.
lumpy.
so
Chicken
like
chest down.
it wobbles at the bottom when they're walking, like from the brisket to the tummy. It wobbles if they're too
Muhammad
fat.
Ali for me was a gladiator. He wasn't overweight, fat, and he's fight all of them, and he was, yeah.
Jimmy Abbott was also a gladiator in a fight.
Hey, but I'm close to it. Any questions? Sorry, I've tried to do it a little bit more interesting, differently. I hope it's giving you enough. Yes.
So when they're judging, what carries more weight?
That is a very difficult one. But
Overall
Done.
dog.
Yeah, and number one is overall dog. I would have loved, my honest opinion, like that picture I had over there. There we go. That they give each and every one of those area like points. Okay? That you stand in the ring and a guy, he doesn't have to explain you why he's doing it, but give it points. Okay? It's never going to happen, but that's my idea about judging. But in this whole dog, I would say, for me, when judging, and also when I stand in the ring, I normally do differently, because suddenly you see something you like and I'll do it. It's a judge's opinion at that moment. You give him 2 or 3 minutes to judge your dog, and he must make a decision. So I would always say you can divide a dog into 5 parts, my opinion, and try to do equal points. My equal points for me is that whole of the head, because I've got a unique head. Okay? Teeth, everything counting in with 2 is that 1 total. Okay? Then I would do the 4 quarters, which include the neck for me and the layback of shoulder there. Okay? Then I will look at the body itself, with the uptuck and the haltery, and I will look at the hindquarters, nice and strong and muscled. And then just like a general appearance, balance and everything like the final one.
There's a saying that says the whole counts more than the sum
yes.
of the parts.
The whole count, there, say it again, I can't say it.
The whole counts more than the sum of the parts.
Okay.
What he's saying is that you must look at the overall package.
But ek wil weet is, what I want to know is basically, you got the ultimate bull terrier. Nice, well balanced
Thanks, Juan,
dog.
thank you.
But you got a mouthful.
Yes.
Are you going to put that dog down?
No.
For
No,
that mouthful?
definitely
You
not.
always look at the
But you
breeches,
tend
don't
to
you?
get judges that do that.
Yes,
No.
but that's why I'm
Too
asking.
And if you think UK's top dogs, the top
Tooth
3 dogs,
fairies.
if you look at the things, mouths, say mouths.
I want to have a dog.
Let me explain the way that I see it. Remember, this is all opinion based. Yes, teeth is the only, remember, whatever I've told you here is your own opinion in the end. You go and make opinion and read about it. But in the end, teeth is the only one thing that can be classified white on black when judging dogs. The rest is movement, everything. You can say, I think he moves nice, and this guy, well, but look at that, look at that. But teeth is the only thing that gives it white on black. And all breeds,
Ek lag nou vir verkeerde kant vooruit.
okay, I don't tell you that. But for me, teeth is scissor bite. Like I said, I put more emphasis on the canines because that can hurt a dog. Teeth in front, once, yeah, even a level bite for me is perfect bite, by the way. Sorry, I'm not going to penalize a dog for perfect bite. In America, anyway, they allow the bull terrier with that. That's part of the standard, it's level bite. That's the only difference between us and the US. Here we say scissor, there they say level. But Warren, yeah, I think it becomes a
Judge opinion on the
judge opinion, and immediately. Now, I also think when a judge places your dog and it's an all-breed guy, he has to send your dog through to the next ring where he has to compete against the best of the other. Another judge there. So, like Stefanette said, with teeth out, I'm going to think twice before I send him up there. Sorry, that's. I know what you're saying. Going to a specialist judge, they will say, oh, let's look at the rest of the dog. Perfect. But I mean, that's difference of opinions.
Yeah, but you want, if you get a dog in the ring with a totally balanced, type, sound, everything,
Yes.
and his teeth is not correct,
Yes.
and you get a dog that's a bad specimen of
You
the
put it
breed,
up. No.
what will you do?
No, you put up the other one. The teeth is a small fault. You put up the other one. It's balanced, it's sound, the whole tooth.
same fault as pigment on the nose.
Yes.
It's counted as a fault.
Yeah, because and it's remember people's opinions.
I think
Where I
Think it's a
agree,
little
if the
bit
mouth is a
different.
little bit hard, that's something obviously you can fix.
Yeah.
But with ingrown canines, or you can't fix, what I mean is that it doesn't hurt the dog.
Yeah.
But with ingrown canines, that's a different thing because
That's
those
different.
canines hit inside
Yeah.
the gum and that actually starts hurting the dog.
Yes.
Then I would rather put a dog, if I was a judge, completely down.
That's a structural fault then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's even a medical fault.
But 9 times out of 10, if a dog has an outstanding head, it's
The
going to
mouth.
be undershot.
I totally disagree. That if you look for that little egg-shaped, the wrong egg shape,
Yes, yeah.
that one. But if you find the ones with the real egg shape, when looking from the front, you're going to not find a lot of them.
Too curved, you can get it undershot.
Yes,
If
too
it's
curved
slight
because-
curve, it shouldn't be
Yeah,
undershot.
too curved. Remember what we tend to find, and he will now agree. Bull terriers, when you get a puppy, and you select the puppy in the nest, you say, oh, the teeth is nice and level. We say, woo, don't take it. Because the teeth is going to move. Because when we choose a puppy, we say, you must be a little bit overshot.
Yeah.
Because our head tends to move. So you will see at the age of 4 months, he's throwing his little milk teeth. Suddenly, you open the mouth, it's the wrong way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you show a dog, he's perfectly level bite. I don't know why, but at 14 months, there's a slight movement again. And after that, it's constant. So yes, we do have problems getting the right teeth in the ring, but I must say by selective breeding is that you can really put...
Minimize.
Yes. I don't say I've got the soundest dogs. I do battle here and there with a little dip in my line, but every dog that I put in the ring sounds, so teeth is sound. It's one of my own breeding principles. But the rest I'm battling, get a little dip and whatever. That's fine. You will never find the perfect bull terrier. There'll always be a fault.
In humans, that's called a class 1 bite.
Say again?
In humans, it's called a class 1 bite.
That's it. In humans, called a class 1 bite. Any more questions? Laaste weer dan.
Voor die volgende straal hier.
Hulle
Okay.
gat.
I need your attendance. There's the register. You just fill in everybody that was here. If you want a certificate for Cruiser, I'm going to put the certificate next to it. I'll just need a pen. And then you just write your own name there. I'll sign it.